Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to Unparalleled Universe for another action figure review. And today we're taking a look at the brand new BMS 1/12 scale Return of the King, aka third party Kingdom Come Superman. And man, I am very excited about this figure. I am absolutely loving what's coming out of the third party scene. It's kind of new to me. I was just exposed to it like last year. I started to buy some figures that were labeled third party, not really knowing what I was getting into, but I was completely blown away by some of the figures that came out last year. And I'm really happy to see that whole thing continue on into this year because they are killing it. Like all these different companies, I don't want to like name a specific one because it seems like there's a bunch of them and some of them are the same, but the names change and all kinds of weird shit. But they're coming out with some amazing figures. And I love it because they're doing things that the bigger companies are unable or incapable of doing, like artist specific stuff or, like actor likeness stuff that's like spot on that maybe like, I don't know, a big company can't get the rights to or something, that type of thing. These third party companies are going around all that and giving us amazing figures. And I just don't know. Like, I'm curious how long that could last, I don't know. Hopefully it lasts forever because they're giving us some of the most exciting figures. Anyways, let's go ahead and get right into this Kingdom Come Superman. Very excited about this. Starting off with the box. As you can see, there's not a whole lot going on. It's a red box, and then we have like a silhouette of a Superman type character. And then on the back, we get a bunch of bullshit. And that's about it for the packaging. There's not a whole lot going on. It's small. You could store the figure in there with the accessories. Doesn't take up a whole lot of space. So that's cool. But aside from that, not a whole lot to talk about. But enough about this very vague and mysterious box. Let's go ahead and open it up and take a look at Superman. All right, so here we have Superman right out of the box. And man, this is a beautiful looking figure. Looks like he jumped right off the page of the comic. Look at that. The colors are perfect. The soft goods look nice. The logo on the chest looks good. The cape drapes behind him perfectly. Look at that. Looks really, really good. And the head sculpt has some very strong Alex Ross art style vibes, I love the way that Alex Ross draws like classic superhero characters like Superman and Captain America. He does a great job with like that style. And I think this figure captures his art perfectly, especially in the head sculpt. It looks so good. But man, look at that. Looks really, really nice. The soft goods on him are stretchy and they do have a lot of give. So, you could pose them around quite a bit. But mine did have a couple of snags on it. Nothing major, but just a few little like loose, like I don't know how to describe it, like little loose fibers that kind of, looked a little weird, but nothing major. And one thing that I wish was a little better on him is that I wish that the belt loops were centered. It's kind of like off center. And I've been trying to work it this way a little bit, but it's a little tough. So I don't know. I'll keep trying or I don't know. We'll see what I do with that. But I may just leave it because I don't want to damage anything. And it doesn't look horrible, But that's just one thing that you kind of notice, that the belt loops are a little off center. But aside from that, this thing is absolute perfection. Look at that. Holy shit. Jeez. That's insane. They've got to do a classic Superman, like Alex Ross style classic Superman. It's going to have such a strong shelf presence, It's just going to stand out next to all my other Superman figures. Ooh, look at that shit. Damn, I love it. And I think they did a really great job with the sculpting work on this Superman. Starting off at the head, as you could see, this head sculpt perfectly captures the look of an older Superman. We've got the gray temples on the side of the hair. He has some wrinkles, and he just looks like an older guy, They did a really great job with that. In my opinion, this head sculpt looks just like an Alex Ross painting of Superman. So they really did a great job of capturing the look of the source material. And then moving down into the body, you can see that the S on his chest is pretty clean. It gets a little rough right there, but aside from that, it's very nice. And the soft goods are really nice too. I did have like a couple of small little imperfections, but they're hardly noticeable. Actually, I don't even know if you could see them, like, right there. There are little things like that here and there, but nothing major. For the most part, it looks very clean. The soft goods fit on this body perfectly. The stitching looks really good. And yeah, they did a great job with it. And then here we have the belt. I do wish that the loops were centered correctly, as they are. Like this one comes over this way too much, you know. And I've been trying to work it to go this way, but it just kind of, that's kind of where it is, and it wants to stay there. But, you know, not a huge deal. But yeah, look at that. And down here, the boots are very well sculpted. Not a whole lot going on. We do have some detail and stuff, but nothing crazy. Some more very clean stitching. And the cape is really good too. The soft goods that they used on the cape does feel really nice, and it drapes over the figure perfectly. So yeah, they did a great job with the details on him, the sculpting work, the soft goods. The figure looks amazing in my opinion. So I'm very happy with the way that he turned out. And then for accessories, Superman did not come with a whole lot, but I'm okay with that. It's not like he needs a whole bunch of different things. Thankfully, he did come with 4 different sets of hands. First off, we have a pair of fists, and then we have a set of flat hands that could be used for flight poses and things like that. And then he does come with 2 different sets of open hands. One set is a little bit more relaxed, and the other ones are kind of like dramatic and crazy looking. It would have been cool if he came with some alternate heads. That's always nice, but you know, I'm completely fine with the amount of accessories that he came with. Alright, so now for some size comparisons. We're going to start it off with him alongside 2 of my favorite Superman figures. On the left, we have the Mafex Dark Knight Return Superman, and on the right, we have the Mafex Hush Superman. And this new BMS Kingdom Come Superman is definitely going to join the ranks of these 2 guys as one of my favorite Superman figures. And yeah, I just love the artist-specific stuff. So seeing something like this Kingdom Come Superman next to the, you know, Dark Knight Returns Mafex Superman is just amazing to me. You know, I just love the artist-specific, comic book run-specific figures, especially when they're well done like these ones are. And then next up, we have them alongside the Mezco 112 Collective Classic Superman and the Mezco 112 Collective Movie Superman. And, you know, the more time that passes by, the more ridiculous that Classic Superman looks. Mezco really needs to put out their updated version. I'm sure it's going to be much better than this one here. I used to like this one when it first came out, and I don't hate it or anything now, but it just looks pretty bad as time goes on, especially as newer, better things come out. And then the movie Superman looks pretty good, but they really jacked up the cape. I don't know why they did it the way they did. It looks like he has a hump kind of. It's weird. But as far as the soft goods go, they did a pretty good job with it. But man, it's crazy that these third-party companies are doing things better than the bigger companies like Mezco. I know they're not the biggest company, but they're the main guys when it comes to soft goods, and the third-party companies just continue to outdo them in this department. It's kind of crazy to see. But Mezco's Dark Knight Returns Batman still looks pretty damn cool. So here's a look at him alongside the Kingdom Come Superman. On the opposite side, we have the Mafex Dark Knight Returns Batman. And again, you know, here's some more of that artist-specific stuff, and it just looks amazing. And then next up, we have him alongside the Mezco 112 Collective Shazam and the Mezco 112 Collective Wonder Woman. And I think they look pretty good next to him. And then finally, here we have him alongside the Marvel Legends Bucky Cap and Marvel Legends Pizza Spider-Man. So Superman does have some pretty good articulation. Obviously, there are some limitations because of the soft goods, but thankfully, the material that they used is very stretchy, so it doesn't get in the way too much. There are some things that obviously you can't do, like you're not going to be able to spin the arms all the way around or anything crazy like that. But any type of natural pose that you'd want for Superman is definitely achievable with this figure, even with the soft goods. So that was really nice to see. But let's go ahead and take a look starting off at the head. So for the head, he only has movement at the upper neck. There's no lower neck joint or anything. And using that, you're able to get some pretty nice tilt out of the head. So that is awesome. And then he could look left to right, obviously. He could look up to about right there, which is pretty good. That'll work for some flight poses. You'll have to get a little bit of help from the torso and the waist joint to get really nice flight poses. But there you go. That'll work. Yeah, that's awesome. And then he could look down to about right there, which is pretty nice too. And again, you know, get some help from the torso to get him to look down a little bit more. So that definitely works. And then for the torso, he does have a ball joint at the diaphragm and then a ball joint at the waist. So using both of those, we get some really nice movement. You're actually going to get most of the movement out of that diaphragm. Oh, actually, that's not true. Looks like they both work together really well. Then he could crunch forward to about right there, which is not bad at all. Then you could bring it back to about right there. Damn, that's nice. And then you can also twist at the waist or at the diaphragm. I'm not going to push it too crazy, but yeah, the torso is pretty good. And then for the arms, what do we have going on there? I feel like there might be a slight butterfly joint in there. It's kind of hard to tell. Doesn't get a whole lot of movement if there is. But his arms are on ball joints, and you could bring his arms way up. Look at that. The soft goods really don't stop it. So that is really nice. Yeah, that's dope. Look at that. And you don't have to worry about the material getting damaged or anything. Then you could bring his arms out to the side to about right there. And then he does have upper bicep swivel. Oh, now I can't find where his arm comes down. Oh, there it is. So yeah, he has upper bicep swivel and then double jointed elbows that get pretty good bend. Let's get this arm down. There we go. Let's see. Bam, look at that. Really good range at that elbow. And then he does have a ball joint at the wrist that has a hinge, and then you could spin around on that ball joint. So yeah, as you could see, the soft goods really don't stop the articulation very much. That is awesome. And then for the legs, he can kick out to the side. Some of the joints are a little loose though. Not crazy, but you know, as you could see when I'm trying to kick his leg out, it kind of wants to go back. But it's not like it's flopping around or anything. It's just a little, you know, little loose. And anyway, so yeah, his legs could come out to the side a really good amount. You could kick them forward to about right there. Damn. That's nice. And he does have, I don't think the leg actually has a swivel. It seems like it's kind of rotating on the ball joint in the hip, but it moves a pretty good amount. And then he does have double jointed knees. Bam, look at the range on those. That looks good. And then he can swivel right there at the boot. And then at the foot, he does have like a double ball peg deal. So you can swivel on that. You can rock side to side. I was going to say, I wish you could rock side to side a little bit more, but it's actually pretty good. And then you can, I think I mentioned already, but you could swivel there, comes forward to right there, comes up to right there. So yeah, man, the amount of articulation on this body is really nice, and I'm really happy to see that the soft goods really don't get in the way all that much. You know, like I said, some of the joints on mine are a little loose, so that can be a little frustrating if you're trying to get them to hold a pose, but it's only because it's kind of fighting against the soft goods, you know. The soft goods kind of want to put it back in its natural position in certain areas. But yeah, man, the articulation on this figure is awesome, and I'm really happy to see that the soft goods don't get in the way too much. Alrighty, so overall, at the end of the day, when the smoke clears, the dust settles, and it's all said and done, I think this figure turned out absolutely fantastic. I freaking love this thing. They did such a great job with it. I love the way that he looks. It's a beautiful looking figure. Looks like he jumped right out of the comic, and it just does a very good job of capturing that Alex Ross energy, you know? When you see Alex Ross artwork, it's very powerful and in your face, and just like, it's like overwhelming to look at because there's so much good stuff going on. And I think this figure captures that whole vibe perfectly. He's going to look amazing on the shelf. It's going to look awesome next to other Superman figures. And it's just a really, really nice piece. And the main attraction is the way that he looks. It's going to be amazing just having him stand there just like this. But he does have some great articulation, and the soft goods do allow you to use that articulation for a pretty good amount. I'd still hesitate to pick up this figure and play with it excessively because, you know, I don't want to damage anything. But man, it's a great looking figure, and it's cool that they use material that allows you to use the articulation. I would still exercise caution though. Accessories, you know, it is a little light in that department, but, you know, it's okay. I'm fine with that. I think some extra heads would have been nice, but aside from that, I don't really feel like I'm missing anything from the accessories. I like that he came with those extra hands. But yeah, man, I'm so happy with the way this guy turned out. And, man, I just want to see more artist-specific stuff. You know, I say it all the time. I'm a huge fan of Earth X. Alex Ross did the covers for those. I would love to see a third-party company do a, you know, Earth X Captain America with the Alex Ross type of style like this, you know, oh man, that would make me so freaking happy. That would probably be my favorite figure of all time. So it'd be really cool to see them do something like that, whether it's BMS or, you know, one of these other companies out there. But yeah, it's really cool to see this artist specific stuff. And it would be nice to see the bigger companies take this approach too, you know. Obviously, a lot of us that collect these types of figures are comic book fans. So it'd be cool to see things like that accurately represent specific things from the comics and not things that just feel so general. But yeah, man, I really love the way this figure turned out. And with that, I think that's it. Thank you so much for watching. And if you want to support the channel, please be sure to leave a like on the video, subscribe, comment, and all that stuff. And be sure to hit the bell notification so you know every time that I go live. If you're not aware, I do go live every Tuesday at 7 p.m., every Friday at 7 p.m., and every Sunday at 10 a.m. to talk about comics. So come through for all those live streams. And if you want to take it a step further, perhaps you'd consider picking up one of my Odious plushies. Odious is an original character that I created that I'm currently working on getting out there and stuff. And this plushie is the first actual product that I produced that I have available for this character. So I'll leave a link to him in the description below. Be sure to check that out. Thank you very much. Peace.